Dijkstra, head of King Vishemir of Vidania's secret service, did not resemble a spy. He was far from the stereotype, which dictated that a spy should be short, thin, rat-like, and have piercing eyes, forever casting furtive glances from beneath a black hood. Dijkstra, as Dandelion knew, never wore hoods, and had a decided preference for bright-coloured clothing. He was almost 7 foot tall, and probably only weighed a little under 2 quintals. When he crossed his arms over his chest, which he did with habitual pleasure, it looked as if 2 cachalots had prostrated themselves over a whale. As far as his features, hair colour and complexion were concerned, he looked like a freshly scrubbed pig. Dandelion knew very few people whose appearance was as deceptive as Dijkstra's, because this porky giant, who gave the impression of being a sleepy, sluggish moron, possessed an exceptionally keen mind and considerable authority. A popular saying at King Vizimir's court held that if Dijkstra states it is noon, yet darkness reigns all around, it is time to start worrying about the fate of the sun. At present, however, the poet had other reasons to worry.
"Dandelion,"
said Dijkstra sleepily, crossing the cachalots over the whale.
"You thick-headed half-wit, you unmitigated dunce. Do you have to spoil everything you touch? Couldn't you just once in your life do something right? I know you can't think for yourself. I know you're almost 40, look almost 30, think you're just over 20, and act as though you're barely 10. And being aware of this, I usually furnish you with precise instructions. I tell you what you have to do, and when you have to do it, and how you're to go about it. And I regularly get the impression that I'm talking to a stone wall."
I, on the other hand, retorted the poet, feigning insolence, regularly have the impression that you talk simply to exercise your lips and tongue. So get to the point and eliminate the figures of speech and fruitless rhetoric. What are you getting at this time? They were sitting at a large oak table, amongst bookshelves crowned with volumes and piled with rolls of parchment, on the top floor of the Vice-Chancellor's offices, in leased quarters which Dijkstra had amusingly named the Faculty of Most Contemporary History, and Dandelion called the Faculty of Comparative Spying and Applied Sabotage. There were, including the poet, 4 present. Apart from Dijkstra, 2 other people took part in the conversation. One of these was, as usual, Ori Reuven, the aged and eternally sniffing secretary to the chief of Redanian spies. The other was no ordinary person.
"You know very well what I'm getting at,"
Dijkstra replied coldly.
"However, since you clearly enjoy playing the idiot, I won't spoil your game, and will explain using simple words. Or maybe you'd like to make use of this privilege, Philippa."